everyone, Corey from CoreyReviews back here again. I know I haven't made a video in probably over a month now. There hasn't been a lot of out and about titles that I've been wanting to pick up, and you know, I've been trying to save my money for some certain higher priced items that you'll see down the line in an upcoming Blu-ray Steelbook update. But for now, as the title shows, I have some Arrow Video titles to review for you guys. These are all sent to me from Arrow Video, obviously. So right here I got 5 titles. There are 3 in the standard case and 2 in the Steelbook format. And before I get started, I'll just let you know that I'll have a link down below to the Arrow Video website that you can pick up all these titles as shown in this video, as well as, you know, you browse around, and the good thing about Arrow Video is that they have titles for, you know, all different types of genres, you know, different types of generations. If you're into any, you know, specific type of film, you know, I'm only into comedies, I'm only into horror films, I'm only into thrillers, I'm only into, you know, whatever. Arrow Video will have films for any genre of your choosing, of your liking, and you're going to find some really quality films that have some really great additions. So the first up here I have is Retaliation, and with this one I'm not going to try to pronounce any of the actors or even the director's name. I'll just butcher them anyways. I'm terrible with names. But this was a pretty fun film. I was expecting it to be a little bit more on the lines of something like Kill Bill, but it kind of reminded me of like more of like a slow burn, The Departed, meets maybe a little bit of Kill Bill. So in the film, a lieutenant who's also kind of a big member of this gang, he's kind of like the head honcho, he comes out of jail, and immediately off the bat there is a member from a rival gang that has, you know, kind of a feud with them that wants to kill him. You know, that doesn't go over well. But, you know, once he gets back to town, he realizes that his master, kind of the person that raised him, that trained him, whatever, is dying. So really now he has to step up and take over this gang. And there's also, you know, all these different kind of factions of gangs that want to take over different portions of land. They all kind of have their own territory, but they all want other people's territory, and they want, you know, to take overall control. And so the lead character right there, he decides to kind of stand up against all these gangs. You know, the gangs are kind of going against them, and you know, they're having to go against other gangs. They just really want peace. They want, you know, some of the gangs just want to have their own territory and have that be that, but that's not really going over well with some of the other gangs that want, again, overall control. And you know, so you have the 2 main characters there, who's, you know, the leader of the main gang, the main character, and then you have this guy here who's the part of the other rival gang that's trying to kill him, but also kind of helps him along the way as well. And it's a very interesting but kind of intense dynamic throughout the film. This is very much a slow burn, and even a lot of the action sequences, while they're a lot of fun, they seem very improvised. They don't seem really choreographed. I think it's kind of cool, you know, with the film like this, is as a director, it almost feels like he was just like, I'm just going to put the camera here, I'm going to let the actors just go off, do what they do, just fight, and, you know, have fun doing it. But, you know, we have our blueprint, we have our script, and we need to make sure that the story is told, but at the same time we don't want to make it seem too choreographed, because these are gang members that some of them are kind of new up-and-coming gang members, so it makes sense that they don't know how to properly fight or handle a gun or handle a knife or whatever. There's a lot of gun and knife play in this film as well. There's a lot of violence. It's also kind of a sexploitation film. If you're into these like Asian martial art type movies, I would definitely give this one a watch. This is a limited edition Blu-ray. There's only 3,000 copies of these. There's a newly restored transfer. You get interviews, the original theatrical trailer. You get a gallery of images, as well as reversible artwork. And inside, this is region free, by the way. A lot of Arrow Video titles are region B, but they are starting to slowly release more region free titles, especially region A. So you get 2 discs there with disc art. All these have disc art, and you get booklets as well, with really great artwork. And let's see, so you get the book here, really nice artwork. You know, and I was going to go through a few pages here. Let's see, there's another one. So there's that booklet, you get a few pages there, and then the reversible artwork with that image. So that is Retaliation, guys. Again, limited to 3,000 copies worldwide. Like I said, a pretty decent film, especially if you're into these type of films. Next up here, I have the original Rollerball with James Caan as in the lead. And in this futuristic world, there's a lot of corporations that own a lot of necessities, things that, you know, people in this world really want. You know, there's a lot of these big wigs behind this game Rollerball, where this ball comes out and people, you know, try to injure one another, and people try to, you know, win the game. And it's kind of, you know, just the world is, you know, they don't really care about, you know, other people. They care about, you know, the things that these corporations own. And James Caan here plays Jonathan. He's kind of like the most famous guy that plays Rollerball. He's been doing it for like, you know, over a decade, like 10 plus years. You know, and the guys behind Rollerball, you know, controlling his life. They like took away the girl that he loved. And, you know, basically he tries to rise up and go against the people behind the game, the corporations and stuff like that, and kind of take back his life, if you will. And that's pretty much what it is. I don't want to spoil too much about it. It is also very much a slow burn. I'm sure the remake, which I know is panned by pretty much everyone, a lot of people hate the remake that came out, I believe, in the early 2000s. I haven't actually seen the remake, but I've been told by everyone to watch this one instead. I'm glad I did. You know, I'm sure the remake has a lot, you know, more kind of high-octane action. But, you know, when there is action in this movie, it's very well done, and it's kind of, I think it's like a mid-70s film, and it's really surprising to see the things that they were able to do back then. It's very impressive. The performances are great, very high concepts. You know, it's one of those great, you know, sci-fi films that has these really big concepts, but they're played out very well. They're executed well. You know, you get some other performances from Maud Adams and John Houseman as well. It's a fun film. Like I said, it is a slow burn. There are a lot of portions that are again, like kind of like Retaliation. You're like, okay, moving on. We want to get to the good stuff. But once it gets to the good stuff, like Retaliation, it's good. And on the back of some of these, they have like a saying that kind of sums up the film. This one is, in the not too distant future, wars will no longer exist, but there will be Rollerball. So there's that, and inside here, the disc kind of has that original artwork, that poster artwork, and even behind it, you get that poster artwork as the reversible artwork for the Blu-ray, and then you get the booklet as well, which is, again, really nice, and some really cool artwork all around. So there's that. That is Rollerball. And with this set, you get, you know, some commentaries, some behind-the-scenes featurettes, original interviews, TV spots, original trailer. You get a retrospective documentary as well. There's so much stuff on this Blu-ray. You cannot go wrong. Definitely pick up Rollerball if you have the chance. Next up here is Pam Grier and Coffy. This movie was a lot of fun. It's, you know, it's a blaxploitation film, and you can see, you know, while watching them film, why, you know, Quentin Tarantino was such a big fan of hers, why she was, you know, the godmother of the blaxploitation films. This film, it was just a blast. It's so cheesy and over the top, but you kind of can't help but to take your eyes off the screen and just, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? And you know, you're just, you kind of has like this like adrenaline rush going on throughout the film. And while it is slow at times and really cheesy at times, a lot of the other performances beside Pam Grier aren't that great. It's just so much fun. Like with most of these films, they're just fun. In this film, directed by Jack Hill, Pam Grier plays Coffy, and she's a nurse, and she decides to kind of take the law into her own hands when, you know, the city's kind of being corrupted by drug dealers, you know, mob bosses and whatnot, and she decides to kind of take the law into her own hands, kind of like a taxi driver, even like a, you know, a death sentence type of film here. You know, she, again, with her own good looks and her charm, she decides to, you know, take them all on and, you know, take them down one by one. But with this set, you get audio commentary with the director, a brand new interview with the director. You get, you know, interview with Pam Grier. You get a blaxploitation featurette, image gallery, original trailer, all that good stuff. And inside, look at all this awesome artwork. I mean, most of it's the same, but really cool. Love the poster art there. This is one of the best reversible artworks out of them all, in my opinion. And let's see. And like I said, with all these, you get booklets and everything. It's too good. If you're a fan of Pam Grier, you know, with Jackie Brown, Foxy Brown, stuff like that, definitely check out Coffy. Next up here is one of the Steelbook editions, and this is for The Long Good Friday with Bob Hoskins and Helen Mirren. This film takes place in London. Bob Hoskins is kind of like a bit of a crime boss, but also he's a businessman trying to aspire to more. He wants to kind of take over like the London waterfront, I think for like the Olympic Games or something like that. It takes place over Easter weekend, and you know, immediately things start going wrong. Some of his men start dying. You know, some of his territory gets taken over or destroyed, and he's wondering what's going on, who's doing this. You know, I need to get down to the bottom of it so my plans don't get derailed. And man, fantastic performances. Watching this film, I can see why so many other films were influenced by this film. It has almost 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I can definitely see why. It kind of reminds me of like a Martin Scorsese film meets a Guy Ritchie film. Like they both got together, had a drunken night, decided to have a baby, and that baby was a film called The Long Good Friday. But yeah, great film, really intense at times, pretty slow at times as well. Like a lot of these films are, you know, they're older films, so they're a little bit slower. A lot more dialogue. You know, it's not just, you know, hey, let's just cut to the action. There's a lot more dialogue, a lot more character development and setup and stuff like that. But when things, again, do happen, it's executed very, very well. The performance by Bob Hoskins alone is worth checking this film out. The ending scene, the monologue, and him in the car, again, I can see why a lot of films were influenced by this film. You get an audio commentary of the director, a documentary about the making of the film, brand new interviews, and a comparison of the differences between the UK and the US soundtracks, original trailer, booklet, all that stuff. And then on the back here, and it says, "Who lit the fuse that tore Harold's world apart?" The main character there. And inside, you get 2 discs. This is also a Region B one, so you would need a Region Free player in order to play this. You get some, you know, inserts, and again, another booklet about the film. Not as many images, a lot more information about the film with this one. And then some background artwork as well. It's black and white, it's kind of hard to see, but there you go. That is the Steelbook Arrow video release for The Long Good Friday. Definitely check this one out. It's really good. And by far, my favorite one of the bunch. This movie was awesome. This is Blood and Black Lace, directed by Mario Bava. I hope, again, I'm not mispronouncing that. If I did, let me know down below. But on the back here, pretty much says what the film is about. 6 models, 6 victims for a crazed masked killer. This is an Italian film. It takes place in a model house where some of these models can kind of reside and kind of hang out and get ready for different, you know, shows, performances, whatnot. And all of a sudden, there's a masked killer that starts taking out these models one by one by one, and you're like, what's going on? Who's doing this? Why is this person killing these models? Because, you know, they're all innocent. They're all like, there's, you know, none of these models have, you know, other, you know, or reasons why they would be killed. It's just a very well done mystery thriller. The soundtrack is impeccable. The cinematography is outstanding, and the set design and the costume design is out of this world. It lost so many colors going on. Even though you think like from the cover like it's just a really dark and gritty film, it is very dark and very scary and violent at times as well. Like in a lot of films, especially around this time, they wouldn't show characters being killed off. Like, you know, you would see a character about to get stabbed or something, and then it would cut away, you would just hear the screams, and then the character die. And then it would cut back to, you know, them already dead. In this film, like, there's a character that gets burned multiple times, and you see it happening every time. Every time a character gets murdered, you see it in full detail, and it just adds to the, you know, to the impact, to the effect. But overall, very well done. I absolutely loved it. And this Steelbook is unbelievable. I mean, if you're going to get this film, you got to get this Steelbook release. It's a matte finish, but the title there is glossy, and that's the, you know, the villain, the killer design there on the front, and then on the back there, look at that artwork. Oh my gosh, that artwork is sick. And then inside, look, I mean, oh man, so cool. And this has one of the thickest booklets out of them all. I think this is actually the thickest booklet out of all these. trying to get some of the pictures here. Another one there. One of my favorite shots of the film right there. It's one of the earlier scenes, but I really like it. Yeah, and then the back there. And then on top of that, you get the background artwork and the full outside. So definitely my favorite one out of the bunch. I thoroughly enjoyed this film. Out of all these, this is the one that I would highly recommend anyone watching this video go out and rush and get this one. Even though it's an Italian film, you have to read the subtitles. It's well worth it. Just a great film overall. So that is Blood and Black Lace, the Steelbook edition. And so that is everything, guys. That is all the Arrow titles that I have to review for you guys today. Again, definitely check out Arrow. They are an amazing company releasing some of the best Blu-ray and DVD editions around. If you're a fan of Criterion, it's almost very similar, but again, Arrow Video does it even better because you get all these types of special features that Criterion would give you. You get the newly restored picture and audio that Criterion would give you, but Criterion doesn't do this. Criterion doesn't give you amazing steelbooks like this. I mean, this like outdoes anything Criterion would try to do. As much as I love Criterion, I'm a big Criterion fan. But I mean, my gosh, it's unbelievable. And even the casing is very similar as well. You get the reversible artwork. Arrow Video does it right. I can see why people are addicted to this company. Arrow Video is outstanding. I absolutely love the company. I love their editions. They have such a great catalog of films, again, of all different types of genres. So again, guys, I will have the link for Arrow Video down below. And if you haven't jumped on the Arrow Video bandwagon already, definitely do so now. Click the link down below. So many different films, so many great editions, great prices. They are one of the greatest companies at the moment doing what they do. And they do it better than most. So there you are, guys. Hope you all enjoyed this video. And until next time, Corey from CoreyReviews. See y'all later.